want to understand how Spain has become a political maze or mess? If it is hard even for us in Spain, we can imagine how difficult it must be for you living in a well-ordered, civilized country. We will try to make it as short and easy as we can, and it goes like this. On June 26, Spain will hold general elections. Again? Yes, again. Spaniards voted on December the 20th. The result, none of the parties had a majority and they needed to form a coalition. Have you watched Borgen? Well, then, forget it. In Spain, a new government was never achieved. And after months of political mess, the country heads to new polls. So, have we come to this? December elections brought a complete new scenario for Spain. Before that, Spanish politics were simple, stable, and a bit boring. For over 30 years, almost since the dictator Francisco Franco died in 1975 and Spain returned to democracy, there was a de facto two-party system. Center-left Socialist Party and center-right Popular Party took turns on the government. Sounds familiar? So, if the system did work, what happened? Well, the crisis came and many Spaniards started to think that the system seemed to work, but it didn't. The crisis brought over 20% of unemployment, and for the last few years, Spaniards have had breakfast every day with a new corruption scandal affecting the two main traditional parties. So many that we've lost count. Then, for some, this two-party system was over and new parties emerged. Podemos was first, gathering the anti-austerity and anti-corruption demands of the so-called indignados that filled the Spanish plazas in 2011. Then Ciudadanos came on board. This Catalan-born centre-right party made the anti-corruption rhetoric its trademark. Both the traditional left and right saw how these newcomers competed for their voters. This, in addition to a bunch of other minority parties. And it seems that Spanish politicians don't know how to play this new political game. In other words, they knew how to play tennis, but not football. So, how if we put some faces to this political landscape? We introduce you to Mariano Rajoy, the Popular Party leader and the current Prime Minister of Spain. He is, well, not too young and prides himself of being an experienced politician. Some accuse him of being static and a man of slow, very slow reactions. Others say he is a pragmatic, moderate leader. Second comes Pedro Sánchez, the Socialist Party leader. Handsome, huh? That shouldn't be an argument on politics, but it really isn't. Some saw Sánchez's appointment as an attempt to refresh the deteriorated image of his party, and a way to face the newcomers. And here we get to Albert Rivera, Ciudadanos candidate. Remember the center-right anti-corruption party. Rivera, a fierce opponent of Catalan nationalists, presented himself as a moderate version of the Spanish right. Although some say he was the establishment's bid to stop, this saw the guy, Pablo Iglesias, and his party Podemos. Iglesias is a university professor and a Game of Thrones fan. We could roughly say Podemos is the Indignados party. Remember the plazas in 2011? For the right, Iglesias is a populist close to the Venezuelan government. For others, he has put common people's problems into the political agenda. So, how much support do these players have? This is the key point. In the last elections, neither of them had enough votes to form a government by themselves. If we have to believe the polls, the new results will be very similar to the previous ones. We will probably need a photo finish. And how can they mix or don't mix to form a new government? Probably they can't mix at all. After all, the Spanish government is still an empty chair. But if we try to put it in plain words, this could be the green, red or amber lights to the potential combinations. Popular Party and Socialist Party. This is like wine and cola, a weird mix, but some like it. Some ask for a big coalition, but the Socialists have said once and again that they will never make a deal with the Popular Party. But you never know. Popular Party and Ciudadanos. This is like gin and tonic. They can be a perfect match, but it would be hard for Ciudadanos to justify an agreement with the Popular Party considering its corruption scandals, or for the Popular Party to pact with the enemy within. Socialist Party and Ciudadanos. This could be like beer and lemonade, a no-go for many and a refreshing combination for others. Socialists and Ciudadanos already reached an agreement in February, but they had not enough majority to form a government. Could they pact again? Why not? Socialist Party and Podemos. This is a peculiar mix, the sort of whiskey and water. Love it or hate it. For some among the socialists, Podemos is too lefty. For many in Podemos, the socialists equal corruption and austerity tainted all politics. The question here is, who will eat who? Podemos and Ciudadanos. Would you mix beer and wine? Both are anti-corruption reformist parties, but they come from quite opposite origins. It would be hard for them to reach an agreement. Podemos and Popular Party. This is like oil and water, or chorizo and paella, or socks with sandals. You get it, right? Then, what is going to happen next? Not even God, Google, knows. Could we live forever without a government? A Spanish utopia? But no thanks, we don't want to deal with our unemployed politicians. If nobody gets a majority, we'll probably end up drinking a difficult cocktail to swallow. This whole thing could happen again and again. In that case, you can play this video one more time. In the meanwhile, we will buy a one-way ticket to a remote place. Bye!